A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 to 6 and 18. Jesus said to his disciples, "Be careful not to parade your good deeds before people to attract their notice. By doing this, you will lose all reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give alms, do not have it trumpeted before you. This is what the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets to win people's admiration. I tell you solemnly, they have had their reward. But when you give alms, your left hand must not know what your right is doing. Your almsgiving must be secret, and your Father who sees all that is done in secret will reward you. And when you pray, do not imitate the hypocrites. They love to say their prayers standing up in the synagogues and at the street corners for people to see them. I tell you solemnly, they have had their reward. But when you pray, go to your private room, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father who is in that secret place, and your Father who sees all that is done in secret will reward you. When you fast, do not put on a gloomy look as the hypocrites do. They put long faces to let others know they are fasting. I tell you solemnly, they have had their reward. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that no one will know you are fasting except your Father who sees all that is done in secret, and your Father who sees all that is done in secret will reward you." The Gospel of the Lord. The Wednesday of week 11, we continue to reflect on the Sermon on Mount, Jesus interpreting the Mosaic Law as the new Moses. Today's Gospel speaks about the three pillars of a Judaistic religion: almsgiving, prayer, and fasting. In all these three pillars, one should not be drawing attention to oneself. It is the disposition of the heart that's what is important. That's more important than the very ritual itself. When you give alms, if publicity is what you are seeking, you are rewarded there. Your mental disposition is not attuned with the spiritual disposition God desires, therefore you won't be getting the spiritual reward. When you pray, don't make a show of it. This doesn't mean the gospel is discrediting communal prayer. Prayer is our communication with God, where it is got to be two-way. Communicate with God, speak with Him, and listen to Him. And that happens when you can shut off all the distractions and the concerns of the world. And for a proper prayer, that's what is required. And fasting. Similarly, fasting is to discipline yourself so that you'll be spiritually strong enough to live a spiritually uplifting life. It is not meant to be a show-off to win other people's admiration. Otherwise, once again, you will be missing out on the true fruits meant by this discipline. So, in the pillars of our religion are not the rituals themselves, but it needs to be seen from what disposition we have in our heart, and from there need to work that out. May God help us to be true to what we believe. May our practices reflect our real faith. Thank you.